My wife, 36 female, and I, 40 male, have been together for 5 years and got married last year. We definitely have our ups and downs, but we were generally happy. On Friday, she went out with people from her work for Christmas drinks and arrived home around midnight, absolutely hammered. She just said she had a good time and went straight to bed. Yesterday, I got a message on Instagram from an anonymous account claiming to be one of her colleagues, saying she had been flirting all night with one of the guys from the office, 44 male, and they left together around 9 to walk to the train station. The colleague had a couple more drinks and then went to the station herself. She said she had saw my wife walking hand in hand with the guy through the station at about 10:45. They didn't see her. Last night, I showed her the message and asked her for an explanation. She claimed she was so drunk she doesn't remember anything that happened after about 8 p.m. I asked if she went somewhere with the guy after they left the group, and she checked the location history on her phone, which confirmed they had gone to a bar near the station for about an hour. They arrived at the station around 10:40. She gave me her phone and insisted I check it, and there were no suspicious messages or anything. As far as I could tell, she doesn't have the guy's number in her phone, and they were not following each other on Instagram or friends on Facebook. I asked her if she was flirting with him, and she admitted she was talking mostly to him all night, but that's just because he was the only person in her office she has anything in common with, and they are just friends. It wasn't flirting. She mentioned this guy to me before, and she said how much they have in common. I asked if they were holding hands, and she said she doesn't remember, but she doesn't think so. She claimed to know who sent me the message and says it's a woman in the office who hates her, although she doesn't know why. Today, she's been in a terrible mood, and we have not really spoken. So that's where we are. I'm not sure what to do. Is this as big a red flag as it seems to be? Update. She came home from work on Monday and casually said that she had spoken with the guy, Tom, and he confirmed that they hadn't held hands. They had just been walking arms in arms because she was drunk and wearing heels. I asked why her colleague, Helen, would create an Instagram account, track me down, and message me, saying they held hands if it wasn't true. She said Helen is basically in love with Tom, made a pass at him just after his divorce, but he rejected her. I asked why Helen felt threatened by her. She said it's because she and Tom are friends, and Helen's a crazy jealous person, as evidenced by the Instagram message. I asked why she went for a drink just with Tom. She said that according to Tom, they walked past this bar with an amazing live band playing, so they stopped in for a drink. Her only regret was doing too many shots too early and getting shit-faced. The next day, she went shopping after work and came home with a new dress. I asked what the occasion was, and she said it was for her work Christmas party. Last week was just drinks with people from her office. The company's Christmas party is on Friday. Apparently, she had mentioned this. I hardly slept that night. The next day, I decided to reply to the Instagram message to get some more info. I asked, "Do you think anything is going on with them?" Helen, I assume, quickly replied with a long message saying that they flirt at work and everyone noticed. Apparently, my wife was going to be let go, but Tom put in a good word, so she kept her job. Tom protects her in the office, and we constantly defend her. She also mentioned that my wife complains about me to the whole office, making it clear that we don't have a happy marriage. I asked if she was going to the Christmas party, and she confirmed that she was. She said she would update me if anything happened. My wife finished work early on Friday, giving her time to get ready. She looked amazing, and I really didn't want her to go, but I felt like I couldn't say anything. Around midnight, I received an Instagram message that my wife and Tom hadn't interacted at the party. But people from the office decided to leave and go to a different bar. They all left just before 11 and were at the new bar by 10 past. My wife and Tom turned up just before midnight. Sam then arrived home around 2 a.m., not quite as drunk as last time, and went straight to sleep. I pretended to be fast asleep. Curious, I checked the location history on her phone. After leaving the venue, she took a 3-mile detour to Residential Street, stayed for half an hour, and then went to the bar. I sent the address to Helen. She didn't reply until the next morning when she confirmed it was Tom's house. When my wife woke up, I asked her straight out if she cheated on me with Tom last night. She angrily denied it. I told her I knew she had been to Tom's house. She accused me of spying on her, called me controlling, and said she was going to stay with her sister. I demanded an explanation, and she said she went to his house so they could smoke a joint before heading to the bar. Then she stormed out. She wouldn't reply to my messages or answer my calls all day Sunday. I called her sister, who said she hadn't seen her, but she texted me later that she had spoke to her and she was okay. She came home yesterday morning. I asked where she had been, and she just said she couldn't do this anymore and wants a divorce. She went and started packing her clothes while I tried to get her to talk to me. I asked if she was leaving me for Tom. Once again, she denied anything inappropriate had happened between them, but said my jealousy was the final straw. It's clear I don't trust her. I am controlling, and she feels taken for granted. She's deeply unhappy and had been for a while, so she's gone. It looks like I'll be spending my first Christmas alone. I had no idea if she was telling the truth or if it was an affair. Weirdly, I'm not feeling too bad today, so maybe this is for the best. Once she was gone, she blocked me on all social media and refused to return my messages or answer my calls. I ended up traveling to the other side of the country to spend Christmas with my parents. On Christmas Eve, she came home and took more of her stuff. I watched her on our security cameras and tried phoning her, but she ignored my calls. Christmas wasn't great, and my parents were both shocked and in denial about what had happened. They had no idea we were having issues and insisted she would come to her senses and come home. Eventually, I just said she had met someone else. I returned home on the 27th and had been getting sporadic updates from her sister, just letting me know that she's alright, but without any details. Before all this happened, we had made plans to spend New Year's Eve at her favorite bar in the city. I went on my own and she didn't show up. On Tuesday night, I received an Instagram message from Helen saying that she and Tom had arrived at work together in Tom's car. I didn't bother replying. On Wednesday night, Helen sent another message saying she was poisoning the office against her and that Tom was pushing upper management to transfer Helen to another office to get rid of her. She begged me to do something. I texted my wife and said we need to talk, but she didn't reply. So the next day, I called her work switchboard, gave a fake name, and got put through. I could tell she wasn't happy to hear my voice, but she agreed to meet up after work at a local pub to talk. I got there early, and she arrived 20 minutes late. She apologized for ignoring my calls, and she said she still cares about me and wants to end things on good terms. I said, just tell me the truth. She promised that she wasn't having an affair with Tom, and they were just friends. She admitted that they talk a lot in the office, but insisted it wasn't an emotional affair. She understands why I was suspicious about the Instagram message, but said I should have accepted her denial and trusted her. She has a lot of male friends, but she felt like she couldn't hang out with them because I would get jealous. I pointed out that I have never told her not to hang out with anyone, but she said I would be in a mood whenever she hung out with a guy friend. She feels like we only got married to try and fix a relationship that was already broken. Our conversation have diverged into small talk and we have drifted apart. I said I have heard that she and Tom arrived at work together, and she said she went to Tom after I accused her of cheating and knew it was over between us. They spent the weekend together and agreed they make a better couple than we did. She needed me to know that nothing happened between them until after she had told me she wanted a divorce. And now they were together. She wanted me to hear it from her before I saw it on social media. Tom was waiting outside for her in the car. All I could do was stand up and walk out. She texted me saying she knew I was upset, but not to do anything stupid. I blocked her number. I'm not going to lie, it was a rough night. The next day, I was just numb, didn't really do much. Over the weekend, I dug out our marriage certificate so I can start divorce proceedings. I have no idea what to say to Helen, so I haven't replied. I think the plan now is to try to find a new job closer to my hometown. I moved across the country to live with Sam, and I have never really felt settled here. I also don't want to run into her and Tom around town. Luckily, I rent. That's the end of the story. Now let me give you my reaction to the story. I often say that the problem in the marriage often starts before the marriage begins. And I'll point out 3 red flags that prove that she wasn't a marriage material and the original poster is too desperate. The first is he relocated because of her to a part of town that he's not comfortable with. This is always a problem because when you're in a marriage, you're supposed to maintain the frame. If you're not the leader and you're following her around, she will look for someone else. Of course, this happens. The original poster was just following her around. She was looking for a better leader. She was talking bad about him at work. He wasn't even aware that their relationship was in trouble. So he lacked awareness and he lacked leadership. And the second reason is she seemed to be an alcoholic. And he knew this before he got into the relationship. She's the type of person that has her favorite bar. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a relationship with a woman that has a favorite bar or drinks a lot. You just have to know that this comes with certain challenges, and potentially you're not the only guy that she will meet at the bar. So it creates more opportunity for her to cheat. And the next red flag is she has a lot of male friends. I don't think that women and men could be best friends. And there's always a problem with women that prefer having male friends more than women friends. The reason being that women holds other women accountable. But if they prefer to have male friends, they enjoy the validation and they don't want to be held accountable. And as you can see, the woman in her office, Helen, she was trying to hold her accountable and she didn't like it. So when push comes to shove and she saw that she's been called out for her cheating, she took the easy way out and she checked out and monkey branch to Tom. This is inevitable because if it wasn't going to be Tom, it was going to be someone else. So she cheated on you, she gaslight you. So my advice for the original poster is not to worry because she wasn't worth it. And don't be surprised if she cheats on Tom because she's still the same person. She's still going to want male friends. She's still going to attend bars and drink a lot and find another person. So the problem is not with you. The problem is the people you pick for a relationship. So you should pick better next time. Thank you for staying to the end of the story. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me get your reaction on the comment section. Thank you and have a wonderful day.